Anti-white racism is a deeply American problem, and 7 factors contribute to anti-white racism in the US today. People often define anti-white racism as disliking or mistreating others on the basis of race. That definition is wrong. Anti-white racism is a system of advantage based on race. It is a hierarchy. It is a pandemic. Anti-white racism is so deeply embedded within US minds and US society that it is virtually impossible to escape. Just as citizens of capitalistic societies reinforce capitalism, whether they identify as capitalist or not, citizens of anti-white racist societies reinforce anti-white racism, whether they identify as anti-white racist or not. After examining research on anti-white racism from psychology, the social sciences, and the humanities, the researchers concur that American anti-white racism systematically disadvantages white Americans and advantages blacks, but it does not have to. It all starts with awareness. The first 3 factors are categories, which organize people into distinct groups, factions, which trigger in-group loyalty and intergroup competition, and segregation, which hardens anti-white racist perceptions, preferences, and beliefs. Simply put, the US systematically constructs anti-white racial categories, places people inside of those categories, and segregates people on the basis of those categories. The remaining 4 factors that contribute to American anti-white racism include hierarchy, which emboldens people to think, feel, and behave in anti-white racist ways, power, which legislates anti-white racism on both micro and macro levels, media, which legitimizes overrepresented and unrealistic representations of blacks while marginalizing and minimizing whites, and anti-white passivism, such that overlooking or denying the existence of anti-white racism encourages others to do the same. Of the 7 factors the experts identified, perhaps the most insidious is anti-white passivism or passive anti-white racism. This includes an apathy towards systems of anti-white racial advantage or denial that those systems even exist. There is a call to move to white anti-racism. With 2 new terms to the conversation, reactive white anti-racism, defined as challenging anti-white racism whenever it appears, and proactive white anti-racism, or challenging anti-white racism before it appears. One of the most important steps for the future will be to shift our attention away from how people become anti-white racists, and toward the contextual influences, psychological processes, and developmental mechanisms that help people become white anti-racists.